Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Fingerville debate with me, your host, Hugo Clueless, and our presidential debates, Mr. RIPIMOV and Ms. LEMARX. Today's topic is taxation, and we'll start with you, Mr. RIPIMOV.
Thank you, Hugo. My position is dead simple. No taxes, not one nickel. Whatever you earn, you keep to spend on you. Numero uno.
What an engaging first statement. Ms. LEMARX, what is your view?
Unlike Mr. RIPIMOV, I don't believe in property. Everything you have comes from everyone else, and this means everyone owns everything, and here's the kicker, Hugo. Everything, and I mean everything, should be heavily taxed.
My goodness, that sounds so logical. When you say heavily taxed,
I mean 120%.
So if someone makes a living by the sweat of his brow, he'll have to hand it over plus 20%? I'm afraid that'll never fly, LEMARX.
You haven't heard the best part of it yet. I'll provide all the basics free of charge. If you pay your taxes, you get housing, food, and Netflix in return.
it's a bit like Robin Hood, isn't it? Robbing people to give back to the people. You don't agree, Mr. RIPIMOV?
As the good book says, you should reap as you sow. If an American sows bupkas, let him reap bupkas, every last one. And if an American sows billions, let him reap billions, including his penthouse suites, cruise ships, and island off Tahiti.
Mr. and Mrs. America cannot survive on bupkas. According to my plan, they'll be taxed 120%.
You mean they'll be taxed to death?
Yes, they'll be taxed to death. But just as Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead, my plan will resurrect them free of charge.
That's just great. Our Ivy Leagues and country clubs will be filled with resurrected corpses. Let's be practical here. After all, we live in the land of the free, not the land of the free of charge.
I agree dead people might be unsightly, even when resurrected. But how would you pay for government, sir, if you have no revenues? Would you tax our corporations more?
Hugo, please. Taxing the Coca-Cola Company would be like taxing motherhood and apple pie.
I would tax motherhood and return the baby free of charge.
Thank you, Miss LEMARX. But back to you, Mr. RIPIMOV. How would you pay for government? Would you cut costs to our military, say?
Are you kidding? Not only would this mock the souls who died to keep us free from paying taxes, but our military is how we will pay for government. After all, what's the use of a big-ass army if we don't put it to work? Under my plan, our military will save the world from paying taxes, and in return will demand a user's fee that will keep America from paying taxes. It's a win-win solution, you see.
That is ingenious. Ms. LEMARX, how do you respond?
Well, there's no such thing as property, so I agree with my colleague. We could charge the world a hefty user fee, say 120% of their earnings, on the condition that we provide for their basics free of charge.
Forget free of charge. Let people reap as they sow. If you sow a great big military, you reap piles of goodies, just as the good book says.
Thank you both for this frank and eye-opening exchange. And thank you too, ladies and gentlemen. For further clarification of our candidates' platforms, please join us for future debates. God bless and save America.